News, John Edwards jailed for 24 years for killing his estranged wife, Grafton schoolteacher Sharon Edwards. The Jack Newton Charity Golf Classic marred by a robbery spree. And how hot will it get tomorrow? Gav has the latest. Next.
Meet the Aussie family, Sabian and Ross, in Australia's Wild West. Brand new Desert Vet, tonight 8:40 on 9.
El Maco is back at Macca's with favourites like the juicy beef or crispy chicken burgers, El Maco shaker fries, new mozzarella sticks, and the new crispy jalapeno El Maco. El Maco is backo, but only for a limited time.
You gotta love the great outdoors and the great indoors with 20% off toys. Wow, 20% off toys. Big W, every day's a big day. For the players.
Hilux comes with Toyota Safety Sense as standard. Which can't be too safe, eh?
Make any excuse to get plate clearance value like Hilux 4x4 SR5 from $53,990 drive away with free auto upgrade. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
When you need money for the unexpected, time can seem against you. Nimble makes finance faster. Get a Nimble small cash loan up to $5,000 within 60 minutes once confirmed. Visit nimble.com.au.
The joys of Christmas. Like Carol's, playing on Liquid Ears headphones, now 30% off. Big W, every day's a big day.
Check out these great value Christmas gifts, all under $50.
Matador barbecue set, only $36. Holman tap timer, just $29.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning. That's our policy.
Hyundai Venue. Fits in anywhere. Stands out everywhere.
Sometimes a gift for them is really a gift for Dad. Like a PS4 DualShock 4 controller. Just $49. Big W. Every day's a big day.
The powerful final chapter. Untold stories and unseen wilderness. The most extraordinary moments. Saved to last. This is extremely dangerous. Attenborough 7 Worlds, 1 Planet. Tonight, 7:30 on 9.
This program is proudly brought to you by ABM, opening doors to employment for people with injury, illness or disability.
Thanks, Eddie. Coming up, 24 years jail for the man who killed his estranged wife on the mid-north coast. A dead baby found in a shallow grave near Coffs Harbour. A driver survives a tram sandwich, and how some drivers are cheating new phone detection cameras. That's next. Tonight, John Edwards jailed for at least 18 years for killing his estranged wife, Sharon.
The cost of rebuilding Allianz Stadium blows out by $100 million.
Tragedy on the mid-north coast with the body of a baby found on a rural property.
And NRL star Josh Reynolds pleads not guilty to a domestic violence charge.
This is NBN News with Paul Lobb and Natasha Beyersdorf.
Good evening. The man who murdered North Coast schoolteacher Sharon Edwards will spend the next 18 years behind bars.
63-year-old John Edwards, her estranged husband, was sentenced for the crime today. The judge, finding he was angry about her new relationship, then told an extraordinary series of lies about her disappearance.
This is the moment John Edwards learned his fate.
You are sentenced to imprisonment comprising a non-parole period of 18 years with a balance of term of the sentence of 6 years. That is a total sentence of 24 years.
The now convicted killer, who'll be 81 before he has any chance of parole, played the part of a grieving husband for years after Sharon Edwards' disappearance. Until his story unravelled, police using phone data, surveillance and medical reports.
The offender has never given a truthful account to anyone as to what happened on that Saturday night, the 14th of March 2015.
That was the last time Mrs. Edwards was seen alive, having just arrived at her Grafton home after a night out with her new partner. Justice Holmes said he can't explain exactly how the victim was killed by an enraged Edwards, whether she was strangled or suffocated, but he believes he did kill her before dumping her body. Despite numerous searches, her remains have never been found. Mrs. Edwards' heartbroken sons now hoping their father comes clean.
That's the hope, but the judge gave him an opportunity to do that, and for the possibility it might affect his sentencing, and he didn't. So I hope he will, but I don't believe he will.
I don't think he will. It's just a man can sit in that room for 4 weeks and get judged and not blink an eyelid. Tells me he's not going to give up nothing.
Today, at least, one dark chapter closed.
Don't even think about him. I don't care what he is. To me, he's dead. That's the end of the argument for me.
Britt Ramsey, NBN News.
The New South Wales Premier has been accused of lying to voters over one of her key election promises, the price tag for the rebuild of Allianz Stadium. A political headache from the start, the project is now blown out by $100 million, and there are fears it might not be ready for State of Origin 2022.
In the middle of a bushfire emergency, Premier Gladys Berejiklian takes out the political trash, finally owning up to a hole in the budget for her signature Allianz Stadium rebuild, awarding a new contract to John Holland after Lendlease pulled out in July.
All I will say is that this was considerably the best price.
The so-called best price, taking the cost for the demolition and rebuild from $729 million promised at the March election to $828 million, a $100 million blowout after repeated assurances that wouldn't happen.
I'm absolutely confident the timeline is there for us to meet, the budget is there for us to meet.
A fail on that front.
We're going to deliver what we said we'd deliver before the election.
And a fail there too. But today, yet another guarantee that the cost won't blow out again.
This is a fixed contract, so once you sign the fixed contract, all parties have to stick to the agreement.
She lied about the demolition, and she has lied now about the budget for this project. And I have no confidence whatsoever that this project will be delivered.
As it stands, it will be a tight deadline to get the rebuild complete before the 2022 State of Origin series, despite the government already paying out $12 million in compensation to the NRL to keep big games in Sydney. Allianz joining the Sydney Modern Art Gallery expansion, the CBD Light Rail, Powerhouse Museum move and the Fish Market renovation as the latest project to blow out from the original cost. Liz Daniels, NBN News.
A 28-year-old woman is assisting police with their inquiries after the heartbreaking discovery of the body of a newborn baby on a property near Coffs Harbour. Officers say a post-mortem will be conducted to determine the cause of death.
The infant, believed to be 3 days old, was found by workers on a blueberry farm at Sandy Beach yesterday afternoon. Emergency services were alerted and police and paramedics then attended the scene.
The baby was located just outside the residence. The post-mortem examination will be conducted to establish the age of the child as well as the cause of death.
A number of people living in a shared house on the farm were interviewed by police.
We've worked since that time through a lot of witnesses, and a lot of people have been insisting us. They've been very cooperative, and that's part of the ongoing investigation.
One of those interviewed later attended Woolgoolga Police Station.
Late last night, a 28-year-old woman was escorted to the Coffs Harbour Health Campus by detectives. She's currently undergoing medical treatment. She's assisting us with our inquiries.
Dennis Driver, NBN News.
New South Wales is bracing for a hellish few days of extreme heat and wind. Tonight, the Gospers Mountain megafire has been upgraded to emergency level and it's jumped the Bells line of road. There are also concerns our electricity grid could be overloaded, with authorities putting crisis plans in place.
Our country is in the grip of giant bushfires and a heat wave is putting our electricity grid at real risk.
It's not possible to guarantee that there won't be any blackouts.
The acting Prime Minister withstanding gate crashes, but sweating at the prospect of a potential summer power shortage. Even today, the lights were kept on in Victoria and South Australia, thanks to power generated in Tasmania and Queensland.
Victoria is probably the state which is most in peril of having blackouts this summer.
In Victoria, a coal-fired power unit at Loy Yang is still offline, so too is a unit at Bayswater, meaning full supply won't be available until the end of the week, while a bushfire west of Sydney is burning dangerously close to the Mount Piper coal-fired power station.
There's a supply issue because the investment isn't happening, and that is a direct responsibility of the federal government.
This week we'll see scorching conditions in all our capital cities. It will be very hot and very dry, and almost every square inch of the country will exceed its average maximum temperature between December and February. There is a huge amount of energy being generated by solar, especially from the panels that people put on their roofs. The problem is it's difficult to store, and peak demand is often when people come home from work and the sun's going down.
Solar panels and perhaps wind farms and solar farms won't be able to generate at that time.
Chris O'Keefe, NBN News.
Meanwhile, the Hunter region is bracing for what could be one of its hottest ever December days. Firefighters have spent the day backburning, while lifeguards are urging locals and holidaymakers looking to cool down to stay safe.
Worlds away from home for some.
The temperature is perfect at the moment, even it's like 25 degrees difference from winter in Europe. It's much darker at home, there's not so much sunshine, so yeah, quite different, yeah.
The Australian summer is about to really heat up. Across the Hunter tomorrow, temperatures will soar into the 40s after today's milder lead-up.
We've got a nice onshore breeze here this afternoon, a pretty solid nor'easter. We'll see the crowd drop, but we'll get the quiet surfers in this afternoon, which is pretty spectacular.
Away from the city, battle lines are being drawn, with the heat and strong winds expected to ramp up the fire danger, especially to the west.
Firefighters have done significant work in that area to try and contain the active fire. Under the conditions that are forecast from Thursday onwards, we could see some reactivation.
At the Lower Hunter Control Centre, crews were alerting Wollombi, Lugana, Buckety and Broke residents of the risks.
Due to the dry conditions that we have and the risk of ignitions in that area with our existing fires, this is something that we would typically do.
And with morale running low, everyone is hoping Christmas will bring with it the greatest gift of all, rain. Georgia Anderson, NBN News.
And Gavin Morris will have the latest forecast shortly. Yet another earthquake has hit the Upper Hunter. The magnitude 2.2 tremor was recorded at Muswellbrook at around 1:30 this morning. It's the smallest of 5 quakes to hit the region this week, following 2 at Denman and another 2 at Muswellbrook. Scientists believe it's due to intraplate movement.
A Newcastle man has been committed to stand trial over a fatal crash at Charlestown. Police allege Jeremy Garvey was speeding and under the influence of drugs when the car he was driving careered into a service station.
It was an early morning crash which claimed the life of a young woman and her unborn child. The man allegedly responsible, 25-year-old Jeremy Garvey. Today, more than 1 year on, he was committed to stand trial on a string of charges. The most serious, manslaughter, along with aggravated dangerous driving occasioning death, 2 counts of dangerous driving occasioning death and possessing a shortened firearm. Garvey was allegedly speeding and under the influence of the drug ice when he lost control of a Subaru WRX and crashed at Charlestown on September 21. The high-powered vehicle narrowly missed a petrol bowser at a service station before slamming into a parked car. 32-year-old Kira Foster was a passenger in the WRX and died 3 weeks later from her injuries. Garvey remains in custody where he's been since his arrest and will next appear in Newcastle District Court early next year, where he'll formally enter a plea. Tyson Cottrell, NBN News.
The father of former Police Minister Troy Grant has had his bail conditions varied after facing Maitland Local Court today, charged over a fatal hit and run. Ken Grant can now split his time between 3 addresses after previously being ordered to live with his son in Sydney. The 70-year-old must also report to police weekly.
The Maritime Safety Authority has announced who'll recover the shipping containers lost overboard from the YM Efficiency last year. International salvage company Ardent Oceania is expected to start raising 60 containers from the seabed off Newcastle next March. Tons of plastic and debris washed ashore when the YM Efficiency's load shifted during a storm, and submerged containers have caused headaches for local fishing fleets.
Popular farming and drought support page One Day Closer to Rain has been briefly shut down by Facebook. Creator Cassandra McLaren says the social media network took the action yesterday, claiming One Day Closer had breached standards for selling livestock, which it does not do. This morning, Facebook agreed, reinstating the page.
We want this group to stay in such a positive networking environment, and that's the bit I think we all found so hard. It has to be one of the Facebook success stories.
Facebook has also reached out to apologise.
With just a week until the man in the big red suit arrives, his helpers are working overtime. The Salvation Army has started the massive job of collecting presents, donated at Newcastle permanent branches, bound for families doing it tough.
Christmas is around the corner, and that can only mean one thing. And these are some very special elves collecting hundreds of gifts Newcastle permanent staff and customers have donated for families in need.
It almost brings tears to your eyes, to be honest. It's so generous.
For 31 years, the Perm has packed up prezzies for the Salvation Army's Christmas appeal.
Every present makes a difference to a family. And so, we've helped thousands of people feel better and feel great at Christmas, which is a really important time of year.
10,000 gifts have so far been put under the Salvo's trees. From movie characters to balls and board games, this year's generosity has been overwhelming. They're now heading to families across the Hunter and out west after another tough year.
It's an incredibly busy time for the Salvation Army. We are working around the clock to get those toys out to families in need and make sure that presents are under the tree on Christmas morning.
There's still time if you wish to donate. Presents for teenagers and adults are needed by Friday.
We have the boxes in every one of our branches, so our customers can come in and donate.
Georgia Mar, NBN News.
Still to come, Donald Trump lashes out on the eve of his likely impeachment.
Purchasing a Bunnings gift card, popping it either in the mail or giving it in person on the day, they can come in and get something they've either always wanted or never thought they needed.
Bluetooth earmuffs, only $74.95. 7-function kids playset, $198. Ryobi 18-volt line trimmer kit, $229. Endurables pot, just $9.98 each.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning. That's our policy.
Family in Italy packing to see the Rellos in Australia. And you've got to bring gifts. They made it. Her local IGA is full of Italian specialties because IGAs know what the locals want. See what Christmas goodies are at your IGA.
The Karcher window vac. Simply spray, wipe and vacuum. The quick way to streak-free windows. Special black edition in-store now at Bunnings Warehouse.
From the lake to the valley. From the waves to the paddock. With up to $2,500 rebate on select Sea-Doo models, now is the time to visit Lake and Valley Power Sports Morisset.
Switch to Optus, in-store now at Harvey Norman, and get a bonus FBOS gift card valued at up to $200 with selected mobile phones on a new eligible 24-month handset plan. That's right. Switch to Optus in-store now at Harvey Norman. Sign up to a new eligible 24-month handset plan with selected mobile phones and get a bonus FPOS gift card valued at up to $200. Offer ends December 24. Get in-store now at Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer.
Get in before they're gone, especially when it comes to irresistible Aussie red cherries, because it's the more the merrier this Christmas at Aldi.
Yamaha, brass and things at Bowlings. Yamaha student trumpets from $649. Yamaha student flutes from $669. Yamaha student trombones from $1,045. Student saxophones from $1,399 at Bowlings.
Get on Santa's sporty list this Christmas with a gift from Rebel. Buy one, get one half price on all clothing. That's all men's, women's and kids. Hurry ends Tuesday. Plus, if you can't decide on a gift, give a Rebel gift card. Shop in store and online at rebelsport.com.
What could be more magical this Christmas than Coles' delicious smoked ham?
Right now, get $10 off the total price of a Coles Beechwood smoked full or half leg ham. Hurry, offer ends Friday.
Wishing you a magical Christmas.
The business world is in shock after the arrest of multimillionaire Sir Ron Brierley. Police allege when they nabbed him at Sydney Airport, he had tens of thousands of photos of child pornography on his laptop.
Just a fleeting glimpse today of the multi-millionaire inside his harbourside home at Point Piper. A knock on the door was ignored. As the business world was left stunned by the news, Sir Ron Brierley had been charged with possessing child pornography.
If proven, these allegations, they will be what people remember him for, not for his business career.
The New Zealand-born 82-year-old was arrested at Sydney Airport as he was about to board a flight to Fiji. It's understood an anonymous tip-off prompted the action, and police will allege they discovered more than 200,000 photos of child abuse and more than 500 videos on his laptop and other electronic devices, which are now being examined.
In the 1980s, he really shook up the New Zealand business world.
That earned him a knighthood in 1988 for his service to business management. But in the dog-eat-dog corporate world, he was a feared takeover merchant and a hard-nosed businessman.
Any chance we'll be able to drink? No chance at all.
Among his targets, Carlton United Breweries, AGL and lottery operators Tats.
If we hadn't bought 20%, I think somebody else would have.
This afternoon, a visitor gave little away.
Got anything to say about this police action? I don't know anything about it.
Brierley is facing 6 charges of possessing child abuse material and potentially jail. He's due in court in February. Damien Ryan, NBN News.
Rugby league star Josh Reynolds has faced court in Sydney, accused of assaulting his partner.
The 30-year-old's defence team says it will draw upon expert medical evidence to counter the allegations.
Josh Reynolds' pre-season looks a little different this year. Did you assault anyone, Josh? The 30-year-old in Sutherland local court on the arm of his mother to deny allegations he assaulted his partner Arabella Del Buso at a Caringbah South home 4 days after the Tigers played their final match for 2019.
It's not guilty. Let the legal course take its course.
Reynolds' lawyer told the court they would be calling experts to give evidence about the medication the alleged victim was on and the bruising that causes. He said they were also in the process of obtaining medical reports. And her credibility would also be an issue, with a myriad of people coming forward to Reynolds and his legal team since the alleged assault. But that hearing won't take place for another 6 months. In the meantime, Reynolds has been pulled from the NRL's anti-domestic violence campaign, but the league hasn't made a decision about whether it will invoke the no-fault standout policy this far out from the start of the 2020 season. Josh, are you worried about playing again? Kelly Fedor, NBN News.
Jetstar baggage handlers and ground crew will walk off the job again tomorrow. Union chiefs today appealed for a return to the negotiating table. Jetstar is offering a 3% rise. Workers say that's less than 90 cents an hour. Unions want 4% plus more guaranteed hours and more rest breaks.
A rambling, irate, six-page letter has become Donald Trump's last protest on the eve of the impeachment vote. In it, the US president slams the Democrats over the inquiry, declaring that even the Salem witch trials were fairer.
With the First Lady by his side, Donald Trump awaits the President of Guatemala on a dreary Washington day. But it's the wait for impeachment on his mind.
To impeach the President of the United States for that is a disgrace, and it's a mark in our country.
As the Congressional Committee signed off on rules for a vote tomorrow, the President put pen to paper. In a six-page letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Donald Trump accuses Democrats of viewing democracy as the enemy, saying it's his opponents that are interfering with America's elections, subverting America's democracy, and obstructing justice. Finishing, more due process was afforded to those accused in the Salem witch trials.
It's been pretty frustrating and offensive to see what's happening in Washington be compared to what happened in 1692.
Look, it's a hoax. The whole impeachment thing is a hoax.
If impeached, the President will face a trial in the Senate, 67 of the 100 votes needed to convict and remove him from office, an increasingly unlikely proposition.
If they fail, they fail. It's not the Senate's job to leap into the breach and search desperately for ways to get the guilty.
And that will help Donald Trump sleep just a little easier tonight. Tomorrow, though, history beckons. 44 presidents have made this their home. Only 2 others have known the feeling of imminent impeachment. In Nevada, this lady called it impeachmas. The result, indicative of this nation divided. In Washington, D.C., Charles Croucher, NBN News.
Now to Gavin Morris for a quick look at the weather. And Gav, the heat is certainly on.
Yes, it is. Yesterday was the hottest day in Australia's recorded history as far as the daytime maximum averages are concerned. The average is 40.9 yesterday, beating the previous record set in 2013 of 40.3, but it's only just begun. Look at the heat footprint across the nation. Literally, there's nowhere that's cool at the moment, and this pool of hot air is only going to intensify in the coming days, so it is likely that record will tumble, and if it doesn't, we'll probably do it all again around the New Year period with another very intense heat wave on the way. The only light at the end of all of this is that there may be a cooler change around Christmas with isolated showers and storms across northern New South Wales and potentially some into southeast Queensland. It's all limited, it's a little bit cooler, but otherwise we've got a huge amount of heat on the way with temperature records likely to tumble across the Greater Hunter tomorrow. All of your local details headed your way real soon.
Thanks, Gav. Ahead in the news, how drivers are beating new mobile phone detection cameras.
And a man's close shave in a tram sandwich.
I'll do like a bar of chocolate, please. It's for my mom.
Your change.
Happy birthday, Mum.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Want to win a brand new Kia Cerato or 12 grand in cash? Simply be a member of South Merriweather. Receive extra entries by swiping your card and more with every $20 spent. South Merriweather, giving our members more chances to win.
We plan to leave.
We never decided when.
Ask yourself, how fireproof is your plan?
If you're living with injury, illness or disability and looking for a job, APM can open doors for you. Click, call or come see us.
Pineapple or pine berry? There's 37 frozen flavours to explore. You can mix any Fanta flavour or simply enjoy the refreshing taste of a classic frozen Coke for just $1. A little goes a long way at Macca's.
stylish, functional, and the latest addition to Alan Graham's caravans. The all-new Feature Pack Swift, renowned for its build quality and outstanding value. And they're available now at Alan Graham's Caravans.
For some real magic for your Christmas table, try Coles' new succulent RSPCA-approved Easy Carve Turkey.
So good.
Stuffed with prunes, macadamias and couscous, just $27 a kilo.
I love it.
And for dessert, Coles' finest chocolate raspberry and Prosecco pudding, just $8 each.
It's not too fine.
Easy Carve Turkey, chocolate pudding, all delicious and all exclusive to Coles. Wishing you a magical Christmas.
Gonna be a long drive, mate.
Certain kind of life.
Not yet, mate. Back to sleep. Yeah, Lou, this is the one.
Love somebody. Love somebody.
Everyone's excited to see that.
In court, he threatened a magistrate. Behind bars, he vowed to behead Australians. Blake Pender pleaded guilty to terror activities, but the 28-year-old could now walk free within a year.
Blake Pender faced a maximum term of 20 years for terrorism offences. Today he received just 4.
Mr. Pender, would you please stand up?
With his head bowed, the 28-year-old sentenced in the Supreme Court 2 years after he threatened police in Surrey Hills. In his hand, a 22-centimetre knife. On his phone, an Islamic State flag, as he told arresting officers.
The proudest thing a man can do is behead a cop.
Later that day, denied bail at Central Local Court, Pender threatened to kill a magistrate, dragging his finger across his throat in a slitting motion.
Mr. Pender audibly made such comments as Allahu Akbar and long live Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
It earned him the first terrorism charge by the force's new Fixated Persons Unit, set up in the wake of the Lint Cafe siege. Today, members of that team sat in the back row as the court heard it was critically important to decipher between those wishing to harm Australians and those in a state of confusion. The judge found the offending lay towards the lower end of the scale because of Pender's muddled mind. Justice Harrison deeming his actions were the result of mental illness. With time served, Pender will be eligible for parole in September. Early Walsh, NBN News.
A day on Sydney Harbour ended in a rock ledge rescue this afternoon for 2 children and 2 adults whose boat was washed onto rocks at Middle Head. They jumped ashore, then took refuge above the waterline as a rescuer was lowered from a helicopter. One by one, the 4 people were winched aboard the aircraft, then taken to a nearby oval.
They've only been in action for days, but a flaw has already been exposed in the new mobile phone detection cameras. The New South Wales Transport Minister admits the technology can't pick up smartwatches, which can be used to text and make phone calls. But if police officers catch you, you will be fined.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his newly elected government have been sworn in. Now it's time for business. He's preparing to put forward new legislation to strengthen his Brexit deal.
Returning to the corridors of power,
Prime Minister!
a triumphant Prime Minister finally back in control.
I mean absolutely no disrespect to those who are no longer with us, Mr. Speaker, but I think that this Parliament is a vast improvement on its predecessor.
Boris Johnson's landslide election win has given him a huge 80-seat majority, which means he's no longer shackled by a parliamentary deadlock. He'll aim to table his Brexit deal again in the House of Commons on Friday.
Mr. Speaker, I wonder if you can guess what this Parliament is going to do once we put the withdrawal agreement back. We're going to get Brexit. Mr. Speaker, I think even your parrot, Mr. Speaker, would have been able to cite that one by now.
One by one, MPs were sworn in.
So help me God.
The opposition leader swallowing his pride after Labor's demoralising loss.
I would like to offer my congratulations to the Prime Minister on winning the election and being returned to office.
The The PM hosted his mostly unchanged cabinet at Downing Street in the morning, pressing the point they can't rest on their laurels.
You ain't seen nothing yet, folks.
Boris Johnson will waste no time utilising his newfound power in Parliament. On Friday, he plans to change legislation preventing any extension of Brexit beyond next year, which sets a blistering timetable for him to secure trade deals with 27 EU countries. Many believe that simply isn't achievable, which reopens the possibility of a no-deal Brexit. In London, Sophie Walsh, NBN News.
A relentless bombing campaign, apparently by Syrian and Russian forces, has left as many as 22 people dead, including 6 members of the same family. The airstrikes hit 3 rebel-held villages in the country's northwest. The Syrian government denies being behind the attacks.
The city of Lobb has turned into a city of mayhem, with protests over controversial pension reforms descending into anarchy. Police chased rioters through the streets of Paris as crowds began to swell. The Eiffel Tower was closed for the second time this month as staff joined the crowds.
A driver in the Czech Republic has come off second best after being sandwiched between 2 trams while trying to speed over the tracks. Firefighters had to cut the roof off the car to free the man, who wasn't badly hurt.
The country's third biggest bank received a public dressing down today from shareholders furious over fresh legal action. The NAB's chairman acknowledged the bank's wrongdoings and tried to reassure investors he'll focus on getting the basics right.
2.5 weeks into the top job, and NAB's Ross McEwen was facing a nightmare as he walked into his first annual shareholder meeting.
It is clear that NAB has lost a lot of trust.
On the eve of the crucial meeting, the bank was hit with a bombshell set of allegations, which could see it fined hundreds of millions of dollars. Australia's corporate watchdog is accusing the National Australia Bank of breaking the law at least 10,000 times between December 2013 and February 2019. They allege NAB was charging fees to a large number of customers for services it failed to provide.
I'll make every effort to ensure our relationship with regulators are transparent and constructive.
Shareholders didn't mince their words, not letting the brand new leaders off the hook for the disappointment that they've been feeling or the new legal battle that's still ahead.
I'm profoundly disappointed.
It looks like a bit of a Pandora's box, and, where does it all end?
If I break some law by 20 or 30,000 cases, I reckon I'd be away for life in jail.
Despite their frustrations today, 97% of shareholders voted in favour of this year's executive pay packets, after an overwhelming 88% voted against it last year. But some shareholders, including former Senator Chris Schott, are tired of hearing the same promises.
In the last 12 years since I've been coming to this AGM, every new CEO and chairman, we've had quite a few, every of them have said at their first meeting, we're going to change things in the bank. And it's got worse.
It was another flat day on the Australian share market, which closed just 6 points higher. ANZ lost ground, so too resource giant BHP, which shed 15 cents. Galaxy Resources was among the few stocks to gain ground, while Oz Minerals suffered the biggest loss of the day, falling just under $11. To commodities, and gold is higher while oil is lower, and the Aussie dollar is steady against the greenback at 68.5 US cents.
It might sound like a bunch of dusty files, but the New South Wales Registry of Births, Deaths and Marriages ripples with history. As it marks its 20 millionth life event, we've been given a rare look at some of the records featuring names that are famous and infamous.
A registry office wedding, this a thoroughly modern one.
To announce you as legally married, so congratulations, guys.
Tony and Peter have been together for 45 years. This happy occasion now recorded for posterity by the New South Wales Registry of Births, Deaths and Marriages, one of the 20 million life events on record.
It's not just 20 million numbers, there are real stories here, and they range from saints to sinners.
Among those, the births of one Donald George Bradman in August 1908 and pilot Nancy Bird Walton, and the deaths of poet Henry Lawson and Frederick Ward, better known as Bushranger Captain Thunderbolt. Originally, records were kept by churches, but that was unreliable, so in 1856 the New South Wales government took over with a centralised registry.
It gives individuals the ability to prove who they are,
by having a birth certificate, or to ensure that if a loved one dies that they have an official record of that death.
Since 1856, the registry has recorded more than 10.4 million births, more than 5 million deaths, and more than 4.4 million weddings. Of those, 4,100 have been same-sex marriages since they became legal in January last year. The first document recorded by the registry was also a marriage here at St James Church on the 1st of March 1856 between labourer Edwin Shipway and general servant Catherine Loughran. And the 20 millionth entry, the birth of a baby girl at Royal North Shore Hospital. Just another of the milestones in the life of New South Wales. Eddie Meyer, NBN News.
How's this for clever science? A 6,000-year-old piece of chewing gum has allowed researchers to create Lola, a young woman who lived in the Neolithic era. Strands of her DNA were preserved in birch tar gum, discovered in southern Denmark. From that alone, scientists know she was dark-skinned and blue-eyed, and that her last meal was duck and hazelnuts. Which sounds better than that looks.
All from that? That's incredible, isn't it?
Sport now with Mitch Hughes.
And Mitch, he's been a revelation this summer.
He has, and Mitchell Stark is far from done. Thanks, team. After the break, how the strike bowler has transformed himself heading into the Boxing Day test. And the Night Star in for the long haul.
Agua, Wasser, Misu, or water to most of us in Australia. Did you know that a dripping tap can waste up to 750 litres of it a month? And if a certain uncontrollable leak made your home unlivable, you'd be covered for up to 24 months temporary accommodation while yours is being repaired. If you had GIO Platinum Home Insurance, of course. Sometimes it's good to know the details. You know with GIO.
Quit having to hide from your kids. Quit having to stand outside in the cold. Quit the expense. Quit all the coughing. Quit being embarrassed to give a hug. Quit running out of breath. Quit smoking. And you quit all the problems that go with it. You quit, you win. If you're thinking of quitting, get the top 10 tips to quit successfully at icanquit.com.au or talk to a qualified counsellor for free. Call Quitline on 13 78 48.
Some people say it's the sea air, while others say it's the unusually rich milk. But if you ask a King Islander, well, I'll tell you, it's the people that make the cheese so special. No ordinary island, no ordinary cheese.
Everybody needs somebody.
Find everything you need for the kids this Christmas with low prices and free delivery on millions of items. Amazon.com.au. Easy as.
At Mr. Big Menswear, you'll find a fantastic range of clothes designed for large men. Mr. Big Menswear has all the latest fashion styles, casual, business or formal wear. Mr. Big Menswear, 16 Beaumont Street, Hamilton, or visit mrbigmenswear.com.au.
El Maco is back at Macca's with favourites like the juicy beef or crispy chicken burgers, El Maco shaker fries, new mozzarella sticks, and the new crispy jalapeno El Maco. El Maco is backo, but only for a limited time.
This little devil's skin is ideal for the Aussie sun.
Wow, 40 devils!
But this one's isn't. Protect your skin with Hamilton sunscreen. Hamilton for comfortable skin in Australian conditions.
Meet Maria Mitrosonos of Pacific Reef Fisheries in North Queensland. Every single delicious, sweet black tiger prawn Maria and her team produce for Coles is responsibly sourced.
We're passionate about what we do.
Coles Australian responsibly sourced cooked black tiger prawns from the deli, just $27 a kilo.
So to Maria and everyone at Pacific Reef Fisheries, from all your friends at Coles, thank you and wishing you a magical Christmas.
Inside you.
Have a peek at this. Powerball is jackpotted to $15 million. Like what you see? Better get a ticket.
He
He took 9 wickets in the first test, but Australian quick Mitchell Starc believes he can be even more devastating in the 2 to come against New Zealand. Starc is getting accustomed to changes he's made to his bowling technique and plans to hone them further on the famed MCG wicket come Boxing Day.
As the rest of the nation eases up its workload, the Australian cricket team is just getting going.
It's been a good start to the series for the boys. I guess we've been speaking about winning after we're winning.
The 5th best Test nation belting number 2 in Perth and match by match climbing the world rankings.
3 tests in a row to I guess, start the summer, so it's a really positive start from the group, and hopefully we can continue on Boxing Day.
Starc's been brilliant this summer. He took 9 wickets in Perth, 14 against Pakistan, taking his tally to 23. And he credits plenty of it to a few tweaks in his bowling action.
Just a little technical change that I sort of tried in between Shield games and now stuck with it, so hopefully it becomes more natural.
The Black Caps bowlers have come under fire for a bodyline approach against Australia's batsmen, something the Aussies believe could be on again.
They might bring in Henry, who's a bit quicker through the air than those guys as well, and it could be more of the same, but conditions will dictate that, and we'll wait to see what we get served up when we get to Melbourne.
Rob Canning, NBN News.
The Sydney Thunder has started its Big Bash campaign in style, upsetting the Heat by 29 runs in the opening match at the Gabba. Captain Callum Ferguson led from the front, smashing an unbeaten 73 as Sydney set 173 for victory. The Heat was bowled out for 143 in front of a home crowd of around 26,000 fans. The Thunder next face the Renegades tomorrow. The Knights are looking for a new director of football following the resignation of Brian Canavan. In positive news, the club has locked down one of its most consistent players, re-signing Mitch Barnett. The 2-time Danny Badiris medal winner has inked a contract extension which will see him remain at the club until the end of the 2023 season. The Wingham product has made no secret of his desire to be a one-club player and also has his sights set on representative football. 2 of rugby league's leading player managers are facing expulsion from the game. The NRL has determined Gavin Orr, who represents Valentine Holmes and Daly Cherry Evans, among others, should have his accreditation cancelled for knowingly aiding a breach of the salary cap rules. Orr is appealing the decision. While Isaac Moses, who represents Cameron Smith, has been issued a show cause notice and faces having his registration cancelled for assisting a person to not cooperate with the integrity unit. Eels flyer Micah Sevo has opened up for the first time about a mystery hand infection which saw him rush back from a holiday in Fiji. He says he'll be back to his best by round 1, but is feeling the pressure to repeat his outstanding debut season.
Micah Sevo can't remember cutting his hand, but he'll never forget the infection that followed.
It swelled up and I didn't sleep for 2 nights because it was so sore.
Just a few days into a holiday in his Fijian village, Sevo started to worry. In agony, he made an emergency call to his club.
Then the doctor explained to me what is it, and from there, and then they fly me back.
The giant winger was rushed straight into surgery and is now on the mend. He's back training, but is struggling at times in the rehab group.
I'm still wearing an orange shirt, which is no contact, and but sometimes I forgot about it and just go hard.
Sevo has promised Eels fans his right hand will be ready to give opponents the big don't argue by round 1. What has him nervous is following up an incredible rookie season where he finished as the NRL's top try scorer with 22 4-pointers.
It's giving me more pressure for next year, so because of the expectation.
Sevo has already had a heart-to-heart with Parramatta coach Brad Arthur, who's helping him handle the pressure.
Today I talked to him about a couple of things, and yeah, he's been helping me.
And what does he tell you?
No, just go out there and be yourself and play how you usually play.
Luke Dufficy, NBN News.
Liverpool has sacrificed its English League Cup campaign for a shot at a more prestigious honour. The Reds fielded the youngest team in their history in the quarter-finals. The starting side had an average age of 19. They were comfortably beaten 5-0 by Aston Villa. Liverpool's top squad is in Qatar for the FIFA Club World Cup. In just a moment, a pressure test for a league great ahead of the Australian PGA.
caught out this Christmas, Foodworks has all you need. Like 4 ice cream bars, $3.50. That's half price. Everything you need for Christmas and all you forgot. Foodworks, that works.
Spoil yourself this December at Lexus with great plate clearance offers. Make it a December to remember.
Hold everything. This is urgent. Harvey Norman stores and warehouses are packed with small appliances, coffee machines, and stacks of Dyson stick vacs, including all the new and amazing B11 Absolutes, just in time for Christmas. All this stock must move now, because there's even more small appliances, coffee machines, and Dyson stock on its way. This is urgent. Get it now and save, save, save. It's an overstocked pre-Christmas small appliance, coffee machines, and Dyson clear out at Harvey Norman. Limited time only. Hurry.
Go!
New Hyundai Venue. Fits in anywhere. Stands out everywhere.
Enjoy Christmas in the sun with Gazman. 25% off our latest range of summer polo shirts. 25% off our latest range of summer shorts. Plus, find the perfect gift for him from a wide range this Christmas at Gazman.
Your Big Three Kia mega sites, Cardiff, Maitland and Newcastle Kia combined for a massive 2019 plated Kia stock run-out. $5 million in new Kia stock must be cleared. Over 50 demonstrators, including Rio, Cerato and Sportage, will clear below invoice cost. Plus massive savings across the Stinger and Sorrento range with 3 years free servicing. And the all-new Kia Seltos has arrived and ready to test drive. Now at your Big Three Kia mega sites, Cardiff, Maitland and Newcastle Kia.
Jonathan Thurston had some pressure moments in his rugby league career, but it turns out nothing makes him more nervous than teeing off in front of a former US Masters champion. The Cowboys great today played alongside Adam Scott at the Australian PGA Pro-Am on the Gold Coast.
Never felt my knees shaking so much. Had a gallery there too, so I was stoked to get it on the fairway.
Scott is searching for his first tournament win in 3 years. More league now, and the Knights are being put through their paces on and off the field in Tamworth. Players getting a taste of the conditions supporters are dealing with on a daily basis.
A training camp that's as much about rugby league as it is about perspective.
Just at the moment, everyone is hurting, and their cheque and donation is just going to be absolutely wonderful.
A $50,000 donation to the Country Women's Association in an area of New South Wales that's doing it extremely tough.
We'll stay in our local area, which will help the local farmers and actually help the shopkeepers too, but I mean, it's just keeping alive at the moment.
The players also giving back to the community through a training camp, passing on tips and smiles.
So we've got a hit, run, and then roll with the boat.
The week in Tamworth has been an eye-opener for Lachlan Fitzgibbon.
I was out about an hour away out at a cattle farm, and we're up there about 5:30 and we're feeding the cattle in the morning, and then went and did some fencing. So, you know, it's just a little taste of what they go through day in, day out, and, you know, especially at the moment and during the hard times, it's good to give back.
The rigours of the pre-season put squarely into context.
What the farmers are going through up here, you know, it's not really comparable, really. You know, we're going to start and finish, you know, date, and my guys are out here fighting for their livelihood, not sure when the rain's going to come.
Kate Haberfield, NBN News.
Redhead Ironman Dan Collins is still feeling the effects of a brutal but successful campaign in round 4 of the National Series on the Gold Coast. The 23-year-old former New South Wales champion describes it as the best result of his career.
Stellar
The Surfers Paradise event was broken up into a unique format, splitting the elements of an Ironman race into individual tests. Collins was the surprise winner of race 1, a painful run on the soft sand, but later revealed he'd put in extra work for that specific category. He eventually qualified for the final, a traditional Ironman race, and finished 4th.
At one stage there, I had my eyes locked on a podium, and it came down to a sprint finish at the end, and yeah, I guess I used up a couple too many bickies before the sprint finish, but yeah, it was great to be right up the pointy end of the race and put it all on the line.
His overall result helped him move to 9th in the series, with one event remaining.
I'm happy with where it's all going at the moment. I think a good benchmark is to go off where you qualified, so I qualified 15th, so for me to be anywhere in front of that is a bonus.
Despite some uncertainty about the future of the sport, Collins remains philosophical about his place in it.
Hopefully there's a series again next year and re-qualification will be on the cards, but yeah, I'm just having fun with it and looking to finish the season off with a bang.
The final event takes place at North Cronulla on January 19, meaning he won't be overindulging over the next couple of weeks.
Not too much time off. You get to enjoy a little bit of Christmas ham and Christmas cheer, but yeah, I'm looking forward to a little bit of downtime.
That makes all of us.
You make up for what he can't have.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Here's a view of Newcastle you don't see too often, taken from a hot air balloon, one of 3 that lifted off from Nobby's early this morning. The trio sailed over the harbour and the Anzac Walk, skimming the water off Bar Beach before finally landing at Gateshead. The flight was the latest in a campaign raising awareness of marine conservation group Sea Shepherd.
Just beautiful, isn't it?
Spectacular.
Next up, Gav will join us with the latest on the weather.
Is back at Macca's with favourites like the juicy beef or crispy chicken burgers, El Maco shaker fries, new mozzarella sticks, and the new crispy jalapeno El Maco. El Maco is backo, but only for a limited time.
Picked for Christmas by Woolworths. Fresh, medium, cooked Aussie tiger prawns. Now $27 a kilo. Save $4 a kilo. Pick some up for Christmas at Woolworths today.
Hazelnut, creamy chocolate, crisp wafer, and roasted hazelnut pieces. Unwrap magic with Ferrero Rocher.
I'd like a bar of chocolate, please.
Your change.
Happy birthday, Mum.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
The Great Wall Steed Stampede is now on. Get a petrol dual cab or a diesel single cab with a free trade from only $19,990. $19,990. Drive away with a huge 5-year warranty. But you better hurry. Great Wall. It's built to work. Yeehaw!
The Karcher window vac. Simply spray, wipe and vacuum. The quick way to streak-free windows. The all-new Karcher window vac. Now with an extended 100-minute runtime.
Long have I waited. Let the final battle begin.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker in cinemas December 19.
And action. Let's get one thing straight. I never tell you to drink Sprite. Even if I was in a commercial for Sprite, which I am, I would tell you to drink it, no matter what that cue card says.
Bro, man, say it.
No. Even if you're just eating tacos with extra hot sauce, and you were holding an extra cold Sprite, and for some reason you're waiting for me to tell you to drink it, I still wouldn't tell you to drink that thirst-quenching Sprite. I'd ask you, you want a Sprite?
Red hot deals at Spotlight. 40 to 50% off quilt cover sets. 50% off all towels. VIPs save 40 to 50% off all sewing machines. Exclusions apply. Rush into Spotlight tomorrow.
Picked for Christmas by Woolworths. The plumpest, sweetest Australian cherries. Now just $13.90 a kilo. Pick some up for Christmas at Woolworths today.
pineapple or pine berry. There's 37 frozen flavours to explore. You can mix any Fanta flavour or simply enjoy the refreshing taste of a classic frozen Coke for just $1. A little goes a long way at Macca's.
Time to look at the weather now, and as we saw earlier, things are heating up tomorrow, Gav.
They certainly are, Tash. Around the nation, we've seen plenty of records already snap, and it's likely that we'll get our turn tomorrow, and what we set tomorrow could potentially be broken on Saturday, and then they'll be threatened again with another heat wave likely to return around the new year. Let's take a look at this evening's weather photo. This is some amazing piloting skills it displayed this morning. It was really quite incredible. This is something you don't want to get wrong. Using the layers of the atmosphere to drift over the ocean, change altitude, and then come back in over the mainland. Good stuff. Past 24 hours, very little rain again around the nation. It's very hot at the moment. So much so, it's been gobbling up most of this cloud, but with that leftover moisture, we had storms fire up over the interior throughout this afternoon along that active trough line. Now, that's going to help flush out the heat across the valley floor throughout tomorrow, and we will be up there, probably potentially the hottest place in the entire nation, and that's saying something with a pool of heat that is just so enormous. Cool change sweeping in over the southwest. Temperatures much cooler for Perth finally, but look at Central Australia. We've got the mid-40s on the way, widespread, and will potentially break the record that we set yesterday as far as the hottest day on record is concerned, with an average top temperature of 40.9 degrees, just blitzing the previous record of 40.3 degrees set in 2013. Widespread 40s, and that's going to affect Sydney and us as well. It was cool today in comparison to what is on its way tomorrow. Very dry inland, some humidity along the coast with nor'easters, but the nor'westers will dominate throughout tomorrow, forcing the heat all the way to the coast. The sea breeze reaching Nelson Bay, Seal Rocks, and there's the southerly change. Around this time last night, we should be seeing it hit the Central Coast area. It's going to be very, very dry and likely to be a dry change with that southerly coming through. Bushfire smoke is going to return with those westerly winds pushing everything towards the coast and the suburban areas with widespread temps over 40 degrees. Nelson Bay will be up there, but that sea breeze should skim in along that coastal exposed fringe from Seals to Port Stephens, but a little ways inland it is going to be tough stuff. Low to mid-40s on the way throughout tomorrow. Most records for December sit around about 43 degrees, so they're certainly going to be challenged throughout tomorrow. Some areas hotter than that. We've got not much swell left at about a metre dying away, but clean conditions with those westerlies. The low tide at about 20 to 9, working to the high just before 3 p.m. tomorrow. Sun to rise 20 to 6 and down at 8. Moon's up late, wanes away. Southerly comes through, drops temperatures for Friday, but then the heat is back in town on Saturday with another change coming through, dropping temperatures, and Christmas is going to be cooler with the potential for showers. I think it's going to be wet along the coast, especially for Christmas. Extremely hot inland. Temperature records will be likely snapped there on Saturday yet again, cooling off behind that change. Christmas also potentially seeing some wet weather push inland. Central Coast, same story, up, down, all over the shop. Then Christmas, cooler, cloudy, onshore winds and showers potentially around Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Nice swell today, but it's going to leave us throughout tomorrow. It's a beach day. It's going to be busy. Find a car park early is my tip, because everybody will be flocking to the beach to try and escape the extreme heat on its way tomorrow. Take care.
Thanks, Gav, and that's our news on this Wednesday.
The current affairs next, and we'll have updates throughout the evening.
Thanks for your company from all of us here.
Good night.
Powerful final chapter. Untold stories and unseen wilderness. The most extraordinary moments. Saved to last. This is extremely dangerous. David Attenborough's 7 Worlds, 1 Planet. Next on 9.
Get on Santa's sporty list with a Christmas gift from Rebel. Save a massive $300 on this Garmin 4Runner and save $100 on this trampoline or table tennis table. Shop in store and online at rebelsport.com.
If you're living with injury, illness or disability and looking for a job, APM can open doors for you. Click, call or come see us.
Honey! We planned to stay.
Well, we never thought it could reach us here.
Ask yourself, how fireproof is your plan?
Coordination, memory, motor skills, and fun. Introduce your kids to the benefits of music at the Drum Shop. #1 National Park.
If you're living with injury, illness or disability and looking for a job, APM can open doors for you. Click, call or come see us.
I need a place to play and grow ideas in my head. I need a shed.
From council to construction, Shed Boss does it all. Built strong, built right with Aussie Blue Scope steel. Shedbosshunter.com.au. Masonite Road, Heatherbrae.
Getting a shed.
Hi, I'm Luca. Hi, I'm Brady. Come and see our new look, Health Safe Chemist. We have the best prices for all your sleep apnea needs, so come and see our award-winning team. So we're not just your chemist, we're your Health Safe Chemist.
Gian, why do you love Lifespace Broad Spectrum Probiotic from Chemist Warehouse? Its 15 multi-strain formulation helps to support a healthy microbiome. Lifespace Broad Spectrum Probiotic is only $23.99. Live, look, feel well at Chemist Warehouse.
Hey, Mr. Jones. Find great gifts for everyone this Christmas with low prices and free delivery on millions of items. Amazon.com.au. Easy as.
If you're living with injury, illness or disability and looking for a job, APM can open doors for you. We found Maddie her first job, got Pat into hospitality, assisted Tansy in becoming a school librarian. Your local APM team can help find a job perfect for you. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Click, call or come see us.
This Christmas at Miller's, everything is $15 to $20 store-wide. Get ready for summer with new season looks from $15. Tops from $15. Dresses from $15. Everything in store $15 to $20. Hurry, last days.
Hello, Paul Lobb with you. A man has been jailed for at least 18 years for murdering his estranged wife, North Coast schoolteacher Sharon Edwards. The New South Wales Premier has been accused of lying to voters about the price tag for the Allianz Stadium rebuild after it blew out by $100 million. The state is bracing for a record-breaking heatwave with concerns it could impact the electricity grid. Donald Trump has issued a rambling 6-page letter on the eve of the impeachment vote, and the Knights have re-signed Mitch Barnett. More NBN News coming up soon.
NBN News, nightly at 6.
Tonight, I'll be eating pulled pork fajitas with extra jalapenos. Hey, Kim, what are you going to have?
Tonight, I'll be eating spag bowl and cheesy garlic bread.
Ooh, tart.
Thank you.
Hey, Kim, you're an entrepreneur. One word pitch. Netball evening wear.
Yeah, nah.
A lot of money in netball, I reckon.
What even is netball?
Eat up those veggies so you can move on to glorious chocolate sponge bombs and festive Christmas tree brioche, because it's the more the merrier this Christmas at Aldi.
The Reject Shop has awesome gifts you won't want to give away. Games that are stinking good fun. For singles who love to garden. And gifts that really rock. Oh, what fun it is to save at the Reject Shop.
The
draw that makes the most millionaires is on the last Saturday of the year. Lotto's $30 million mega draw. Grab an entry for a chance to make your own mega memories. Wouldn't it be nice?
Don't get caught out this Christmas. Foodworks has all you need, like Coca-Cola 24-pack soft drink cans, $16.99. That's half price. Everything you need for Christmas and all you forgot. Foodworks. That works.
Fridge bonus time at Harvey Norman. Buy a fridge or freezer 400 litres and above, get a cracking deal, plus bonus Waco icebox valued at $199. Plus guaranteed delivery and removal of your old unit before Christmas on in-store stock. Check out our huge range from all the big brands. Top mount, bottom mount, side-by-side, French door and more. Get a cracking deal, plus bonus Waco icebox. Plus guaranteed pre-Christmas delivery and removal on in-store stock. Big fridge bonus sale. Limited time only at Harvey Norman.
Go!
All he's been waiting for.
They're ready?
Yep. And they're beautiful.
You see, there's an IGA that's built a special relationship with a local cherry grower to buy their crop and have them on the shelves within 24 hours of picking. IGAs can do this because they're independent.
G'day, Dick.
And love providing the freshest locally sourced products for Christmas.
See what's at your IGA?
Masterful. Sultana Bran. Full-on days start with full-on fibre.